Well, the first thing I want to say is...
the great old ones is coming back, and we the great old ones.
Well, the first thing I want to say is...
the great old ones is coming back, and we the great old ones. Magic, magic.
Over 100 million people worldwide practice Buddhism.
He said, yeah, you must be one of them fallen angels, and I said, correct. We are the fallen angels.
Some might call
You
it.
read black magic, but surely no civilized person believes in such a thing.
Magic.
Sorcery and witchcraft.
Demons.
The taboo.
The taboo.
The taboos.
We talking about we tapping into ourselves. Magic.
We are the ones that got trapped down here in the physical and became mindless slaves for a remnant of gods who once was our children.
Damn right we are the gods in heaven.
Have you ever seen yourself through the eyes of someone else that you have become?
Cause ain't none of them niggas talking about none of this magic.
These entities are ancestral.
Cause ain't none of them niggas talking about none of this magic.
Only an insider knows the secrets and mysteries.
How far down the rabbit hole do you want to go?
If you want to plumb the secrets of voodoo, you'll have to wait for the end of the world.
What is reality? The real trick to life is not to be in the know, but be in the mystery.
Is everyone a mystery?
What's happening within us will create what's happening outside of us.
Magic.
Unending possibility.
In Haiti, the Caribbean, and New Orleans, they practice Buddha.
Black magic.
We're going to pour libations to none other than our own power.
Magic.
Perfect magic. Dead ancestors.
Cause ain't shit fucking with this dark side, nigga.
Buddha practitioners. Altars.
The witchcraft of the African Congo.
Black
Magic.
Ceremonies.
Oh, now don't tell me you believe all that mumbo-jumbo. Oh, now don't tell me you believe all that mumbo-jumbo.
I've been here long enough never to dismiss anything as mumbo-jumbo.
Magic.
I read Dr. Quantum comics. Everybody thinks it's just kid stuff, but I know it's real. That's how I do my magic on the court.
You think you don't fight some white man with some goddamn gun, nigga? Is you fucking crazy? Fuck it! You think you don't fight a white man with a goddamn gun? Nigga, is you crazy? Only way you can fuck that cracker up is on this shit. Dark side, nigga. Dark side. Dark side. Coming out and showing up tonight and support. As you know, we've got Bobby Hemmitt for 3 nights in town. Yesterday, he definitely warmed up the house. Today, he's about to drop the whole British Camelot legacy and how we're relevant to all of that. So tomorrow, we're going to go into the practical stuff as well. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. So again, I know people are slowly but surely coming in. Just want to give you a round of applause and just give a shout out to
a bit of story, because I didn't really put it on there yesterday. This is the brother that's responsible for bringing me, and he's the one that pulled it all together, Daryl Springer. And, this started from our meeting in New York back in March. You know, he came all the way over when he heard I was speaking, met up with the brothers and all, had Azariah to come through, and then he called. I think it was like the day after Azariah left, and was like, "Yo, man, you got to do this." You know, like I said, I've been telling people for like 4 years, okay, I'm gonna get my passport. And you know, so I was like, wait a minute. Then I said, well, okay, it's time. I knew when he called, and the way he said it, it was time, and I knew, and it's no time was better than now. So this brother has done it, and come to find out, one other reason why I know I came is because there's certain gods that walk among you, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said there'll be an angel on each corner, and all that. And we realize with this brother's energy, this brother's one of those gods. Not saying that you are not either, because that's what we're trying to recognize. But we already recognize this brother is one of those entities and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Don't necessarily mean you're supposed to worship him, but you just need to know that if this brother is an entity and a high being, and he's in contact with you, it ensures you that you are an entity and a high being. And all. So we'll get down with all of that and all, you know. And maybe, I don't know, maybe tomorrow we might, or maybe today we might even do a little thing to find out what kind of entities you are. You know, we could do that on a numerical system out of Hemmitt. So I want to put that down. So how we do this also now in New York and all, we always have the master ceremony come on. And that's, in that case, that's Black Dot on the tapes to do it. So this time, we going to enlist Israel for that type of thing also. So to get this thing rolling. All right. Okay. So let's give a backhand to Brother Israel coming on up. Anybody saw the radio show today? Anybody heard the radio show? He did a great job, you know. And energy came through. It started at a slow pace and it built on up. And all. So yeah, so real powerful stuff that's going on.
Well, basically, I'm not going to take too much of your time because, you know, we know who we came here to see. You know, but just to let you know a few things as far as things that are going to be said here, things that were said here yesterday for those who were here yesterday. If you weren't, things that are going to be said here today and tomorrow. Make sure that we leave here with something. Understand? The ancient Canaanites used to say that every day of your life, make sure you learn something new. So make sure you take something away from here today and make it more applicable to your life. You understand? Things started really, me and Brother Dan, I've known him for a number of years now, but I was in Nigeria late last year, early this year, and I was with one of the priests. I got taken to one of the priests. He took me up on this mountain. And we're standing there up in this mountain, there's three of us, and one of the priests was talking to the other priests, like, you remember when we were young and we used to sing all these Orisha songs and stuff? All that's gone. Religion has come in and it's taken over, everyone's Muslim and Christian and stuff. And the head priest was facing, it was real, I'm talking a memorable moment, because he was looking at the sun. And the priest behind him was saying, you remember? And he was like, yeah, I remember. And he goes, well, all that's gone. And the priest, I was on this side, and he's gone, well, these are the new gods who are going to bring that back. And he was pointing to me. And I was like, you know, what are you pointing to me? And he's like, yeah, it's you guys. There's no, you know, coincidence that you're here now. You understand? There's a prophecy that needs to be fulfilled, that will be fulfilled, and it's you guys that are going to bring it in. And this guy did a reading for me, and he was showing me, like, look, when you get back, there's going to be a whole big movement that's going to be taking place. Only to get back, Brother Darren's gone over to New York, getting the same thing. You understand? And before you know it, we're hooking up. I'm talking like, I've known him for a number of years. We ain't spoken about, what, 8 months, a year? And then 2 twos, everything starts falling into place. You understand? The information starts coming. We'll start linking up. Bobby's got his passport. And before you know it, everything's happening. So it's letting you know that Spirit's at work. You understand? And Spirit's at work, and definitely something is about to be taking place, something big. I know definitely for myself, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm above you or anything, but I know for myself definitely drastic things are going to be taking place, because as far as, I don't want to be going too deep, you know, Robert Clyde will show you that in astrology, I've got Pluto going over my descendant. So it's over a specific angle where there's going to be real transformational stages for me. And you understand? And I've been doing a lot of charts for other people and seeing that also. So Pluto is in a very, in a transformational stage right now for the whole world, period. You understand? So we have to be in the right place at the right time. Get in with the seasons. When it's raining outside, you don't wear your summer clothes. And when it's sunny outside, you don't wear your winter clothes. Get in with the cycles and with the seasons, or you miss it. You understand? The whole, everyone's talking about 2012, all coming up. Big ritual about to take place. Bobby mentioned it today on the radio. Big rituals about to take place. You have to make sure that you got your shit correct. Because when the shit really hits the fan, you ain't seen nothing yet. It's playtime. You understand? They had in the newspaper the other day, 29 youths dead since the year began. Why? I said, oh, that's nothing. It's playtime. I looked at that, I just chucked that to the side. When you start hearing 29 in the day, now you're talking. You understand? Ain't seen nothing yet. So we have to start really getting into our ancient ancestral sciences and start making this, you know, don't be coming here just for get the information, be an information junkie like Phil Valentine puts it. You understand? You've got all the information and you ain't doing nothing with it. Apply it. You understand? I always tell people, voodoo time, magic time. I walk with my tarot cards now 24/7. You understand? I'm getting pulled over by police. I tell them one thing, they're going the other way. Straight up. It's no thing. I've got a van out there, I'll show you now. No tax, no insurance, nothing. That's how I roll. That's it, that's the day and time which we're in now. And I don't fear nobody. Tax run out all 3 months ago. And people are saying, yo, brave, where you park the car? I'll park it right here. Nothing's gonna happen. You understand? So you have to know when you're doing your shit correct, you ain't got no problem, okay? So without further ado, I'm gonna bring on big bad Bobby Hemmitt.
All things is fair, I want to give a shout out to Sister Rosanna because she was calling me years to try to get me to come. So she was on her job. So many words, she was a Catholic. You see what I mean? And since she sent out the soldiers to do it, so it's always, it's always an element that makes the call. So the Great Mother made the call. You see what I'm saying? And it was sooner or later it was going to have to manifest. And how it manifests, it don't really matter. The thing here is she made the call just like she made the call with other people that and open this thing up. So we want to give her a big shout out as a person that, brings this particular information to the people. You see what I'm saying? Last but not least is my queen. I got to recognize her. You can stand on up. It's my queen, and I recognize her. And recognize her. After this talk, as I said, they did a lot of rituals, they're doing a lot of rituals. She's from the capital city of D.C. And so they did a lot of rituals in D.C. and pretty sooner or later somebody had to incarnate down there. So they did a lot of rituals to offset in the 1950s. And between 1955 to 1963, Kenneth Grant, which is a British occultist, opened up a new Isis lodge in that particular period. This is in the latter half of the baby boomers, and the stuff that they was doing to Virgo and Offset in Washington, D.C., it incarnates beings like this and stuff. So very powerful being and all like that and all. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk about the goddess Lakshmi. And it's interesting because when she moved down to Atlanta in 2004, right after that, the goddess Lakshmi came through. And then all of a sudden, we would go in East Indian restaurants, and all of them would come out and start talking to us. And I said, that's strange, because, they really stick to themselves, so they come out and talking over there, they sense something. They sense this particular power and energy. We go into Asian restaurants and they sense something. So that's the type of God and goddess stuff we're rolling with at this particular time. So with no further ado, we'll get into the and speaking of which, now it is interesting because there are now a lot of new pictures coming out, and as you can see, this is King Tut. A statue of King Tut from his burial chamber. Here is one also. And as you can see, it is not by mistake that they got it blue-black. You see what I'm saying? I tried to lighten this up as much as possible, but the actual print is that way. That's how dark it is. So they were sending a message. That this is a chocolate thing. This is no different than the West African or what have you. Because in Kemet, they try to give you different lighter statues, especially stuff from the Greco-Roman period, and they show those over and over and over again. But it's interesting here because this statue here is kind of popular, but they always show it from the side, but they never ever look you in the face like this one. This one here is looking you in the face and you can see that this is not a European person. You see what I'm saying? This is not a European person. They'll make all kinds of excuses up about, the darkness meant something else. Well, it is meant to convey several things, but one of the things it is it's also meant to convey his ethnicity or his racial identity. Now, I want to show you something here, which is very interesting for the people that never saw this before, never seen this on the videos, because I got about 300 of these videos floating around, or more, is this. Obviously, this is the Egyptian robe, and you see the dreadlocks, which you see the locks. And obviously, this is an African brother, and you see the Egyptian robe. But the funny part about this is coming from Vietnam, Cambodia. You see, from the temple of Angkor Wat. So it's telling you that the ancient Khmer people were an Egyptian line or a Camite line. The word Khmer is the people from Cambodia, Vietnam. But look at this. Look at the iconology. You go there now to the temple of Angkor Wat, which is a half a mile. I mean, it's miles wide. The whole complex is over 30 miles wide. And you go there now, and yet, I put the temple of Angkor Wat back, and I'll find one. You go there now in Vietnam, you won't see these statues, because they gave all of these statues to a museum in Paris called, the museum is called the Hemmitt Museum, a little small museum. So everybody goes to Paris, they'll go to the Louvre. And there's a lot of stuff they got in the Louvre. But there's another museum in Paris, and since you're so close to Paris, you should take a trip. You know, get on the train or what have you to get you there in an hour. I don't care how much it costs. So you need to go take a trip to the Louvre, and you also need to go take a trip to this Hemmitt Museum. Because what happened was, the Hemmitt Museum bought all the Negroid origins, for the lack of a better word, Africoid origins of the Asian people. And these particular statues, they bought them. Like this particular one of Buddha. This particular one of an early form of the Buddha, which there is no doubt that can't be nothing but a brother. See what I'm saying? No doubt that that's nothing but a brother. You see, so here again, and I got several other pictures of this, but here again, this is Egyptian, a Camelot. And no other race ever put that type of style of hair into action but us, either braiding it or either letting it dread, or letting it dread up, or letting it lock up. You see, but yet this is in the temple of Angkor Wat in Cambodia, or Vietnam, or what you call the ancient Khmer people. You see, now I'm going to pour libations because we got to get that out of the way, but I just want to show just a couple other things when we're dealing with that, because I know you all got the tape from Africans in Asia, or it's called Africans in Asia, Science of Reincarnation. Anyway, it's a guy by the name of Eugene Adams. If you don't have it, we'll make it available to the people. Africa and Asia, and he tells this story of the whole battle of slavery and us going into slavery is on the temple walls of Angkor Wat. Anybody seen this tape? Anybody seen the documentary? Yeah. On the temple wall. So I said, when he showed a picture, I said, no, I got to go and find that picture and study that picture. And so I had to go to Chicago. I bought a book for $50 and got an older book for $50 and walked out the door and the book crumbled and all the pages fell out. But it didn't matter because I had the actual page that I needed. I'm going to show two aspects of this. I want to show this one first and see, can you see the African brothers? And I got several other pictures. But this is the African brothers going into battle. Going into battle. So they tell a story that we just didn't sit down and they just took us as slaves and we just laid down and ran from them. There was wars that was fought. And a lot of that is omitted when they tell the story of the slave trade. Because if they tell you there's wars is fought, you see, then you'll get an inkling in your head that you might fight when you're oppressed. So it's always to tell you that you went peacefully, and they omit things that there was wars that was fought on the continent. You see, you never hear that of major wars. You just might hear other Africans turning in other Africans and people just running, but you never hear that. And that is the reason for people who colonize you see what I'm saying, is to never think that you fight back, and there's several skirmishes. So there's several skirmishes that happened in American slavery, all wiped off the books. So we know of the Maroons. We got a brother that's the descendant of one on the front row. You know, we know of the brothers in Haiti, or what they call Haiti. But we never knew that there was battles that went on the continent. And this is amazing that the Khmer people, or what you call the Cambodians, had an entire temple walls of the battle that went on. And then they showed this picture where they walk us through. This is the picture after the fight. This line is where the battle is going on. Then there's another line, and by the time, so this goes down the hall, and the picture will be probably a block long. And by the time it gets to the second line, we have already lost the war, because the people up here got long hair. They show these long-haired people. And right here are the African slaves in the slave boats and all. It's an amazing picture. And it's an amazing picture. To recorrect history, I had to go to the spirit world and say, did this really happen? This is too good to be true. And they said, yes, it was. This is an authentic picture of Africans going into slavery on the temple walls in Vietnam. That's some amazing stuff. Then the guy showed a picture. There's a temple called Borobudur on the island of Java. That's off the coast of I think, Thailand. And they got black people on the temple walls drinking liquor and playing saxophones. You saw that on the thing, drinking liquor and shooting dope and playing saxophone. This is a 1,000-year-old temple, Buddhist temple. So I went back to Chicago about a couple of months later and helped show how the spirit works. And they had a big book on Borobudur. It was probably $150 used. And I picked it up, and the hard cover snapped. And the guy said, I can't sell it for that much now. I said, well, how much would you sell it for? He said, 30. I'm like, hell yeah. So I got this particular book, and yes, it has hundreds of pictures, and yeah, they got us on the walls, drinking liquor, shooting dope, and playing saxophones. It's amazing stuff. You see what I'm saying? I mean, if we really dig with our history, things will come up to the point where we won't even believe it. You see what I'm saying? Because the other side of that is we are portrayed as being nothing. So this is just interesting that this would go on. But what we want to do right now, we want to pull to the gods. We're going to get into a whole lot of magic stuff. We'll start some of that up here. But we want to pull to the gods. And I can see if I can find, I'll say it now while it's on my mind. When I pull to the gods, and I'll say it. And so this is some Appleton, Jamaican rum. We had Myers yesterday, but that wasn't able to return because it was intercepted last night by me. Now, there's a bunch of us took the hit off of it. There's about 4 or 5 people took the hit off of it and all, but I finished the rest up after they left and all. So this is good. And I want to thank the brother for giving me this melon, the stuff that's selling the juice out there. That's pretty cool. He handed me some peanut butter stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, come on, I'm getting ready to lecture. You want me farting and shitting up here? Some peanut butter? Please. Going right through me. All right. So anyway, we're going to pour libations, so let's start it off. What we're going to do, because this particular deity here is the deity that is on the scene of the opening of the way. He's the one that removes all obstacles. It's the elephant deity, which is the most popular deity in East India. Remember now, the East Indians is of African origin. Even Indira Gandhi told President Carter in 1979, we are a black nation. Because they got more black people that's in India than damn near any continent in the world. So let it be known, no matter how much the caste system come over and make you think it's other, it's a black nation, it's of a black origin. And they had one girl of the lighter caste system got a job at CNN. And her parents broke down and said, because they saw it, the spirit hit. She got a job at CNN International, and let her know that they didn't want her to lose her identity. And this is the lighter caste system. They told her, remember now, we are all a darker nation, you see, and don't lose your identity. You see what I'm saying? Now, I mean, they might treat you like shit, but remember now, these particular gods and stuff that we're talking about are older than the later day people we find that's leading the caste system. But we do know there is millions of dark-skinned people. And remember, Roanoke Rashidi said he went over in 99, and he spoke to 10,000 black people came out to see him in India. 10,000. He said a week later, a tsunami hit the place and wiped out a bunch of them. That's not by coincidence. That means that the government was threatened that 10,000 Dravidian untouchables would come out to see Roanoke Rashidi. And guess who their heroes were? The Black Panther Party, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey. That's who they study, and that's their, so they take heroes of our indigenous past and they raise them up and resurrect them as their heroes and revolutionaries. You see. So right after that, a tsunami hit. You see, right after that, a tsunami hit. Now, I do know that the tsunami, Dr. Deborah Blair was saying that it was hard and different things. Of the last tsunami, one brother called and said, no, brother, we got reports. No animals were killed. The animals, even the elephants in the zoo broke their chains and headed for the hills. Wearing tutus and shit. They broke their chains and headed for the doggone hills. And when that happened, that means that's something that nature is saying. You see what I'm saying? Because whenever it's any type of explosion or any type of thing that's abrupt, the first thing you see is dead fish everywhere. This tsunami, they didn't see no dead fish nowhere. Because the fish went further out past that whole incident. You see what I'm saying? Past that whole incident. But so you got to realize the reason why I'm saying it, because some brothers say, you know, we don't want to mess with the Indian stuff. All that stuff is ours. There is nothing on this planet that's not ours. Like I said on the radio today, the Shang dynasty, which was the first dynasty in China, was started from Shango from Nigeria. You see what I'm saying? The brother of Azariah Bey did that research on that. You know, there's nothing. You know, even the suit coat comes from Nigeria. Do you have a suit coat that the white man walking around in? Did you think it is there? You remember the Moors taught them how to dress. They was wearing bear skins when they got over here. You see what I'm saying? Half of them was naked. Go get the movie, what's that movie, The 13th Warrior? That's what you got. You see what I'm saying? So all that royal garb and stuff is nothing but modified Arab, Moorish garb. You see what I'm saying? And all that stuff you see in Spain. So they didn't have any of that until the Moors came. And they stayed over 700 years, so obviously the whole culture had to derive from the 700 years that the Moors was here. You see what I'm saying? Even including the suit coat and different things like that. We're going to get into all that today. Okay, so let's close. So we're going to start this off with Ganesha. So now, we got about 40 of these, so you need to get a hold to a Ganesha, because he removes obstacles. The other month, I was in the house broke, like, dang, what's going on? A brother named Panic called, said, Ganesha said, because I had a couple of Ganesha statues. They said, put him in a bowl and give him a curry bath. Gave him a curry bath. Bring, the phone just started ringing. Money just started coming in. You see what I'm saying? You know, he opens obstacles. You know, the elephant deity. And also, you give him a curry bath. What's that, brother?
Did you say curry?
Yeah, curry. So you take the curry. Just take, you know, you got even Jamaican curry. Take the curry. Boil the curry in some water and stick his statue down up in there.
Guinness is also Mercury energy also.
Let's see, well, that's, but you know what's interesting here, I want to say this too. The ancient word of Mercury is Mercurus. And if you study it in the alchemical term, it means melanin. Because also Tahuti is also the god of melanin and wisdom, and he was also a god, Mercury. So when Mercury is in retrograde, it actually works for us, but because you are told that it works against you, you manifest it working against you. It's almost like black people who didn't know nothing about Mercury in retrograde never caught no hell. It's only when you learned about it, oh, Mercury in retrograde, you know, I can't do this and I can't do that. And Mercury lines up with the melanin. You see what I'm saying? Lines up with the melanin. There's nothing in retrograde from the original substance. The original substance is all. You see, so my point here is it's just a matter of how you direct it with your mindset, and that's what we're talking about, changing the way you think. Y'all all right? Yeah. Okay. I have to, I'm trying, see what it is interesting here because I'm dealing with different cultures. And ain't nothing wrong with that. I just have to pinpoint what I'm dealing with here. You all are trained to be very observant. You listen a lot. I noticed that. I'm saying, damn. I said, am I bombing here or something going on? I'm trying to figure this shit out. And they said, no, they listen. I said, oh, no, they're analyzing, they're listening a lot. I said, oh, that's that island thing and that's that British thing. But in America, we were trained in the call and response in the church. So everything is emotional. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I tell you, brother, you know, and all this. So when I'm listening to it, I'm thinking about it, I'm saying, well, wait a minute, I'm trying to figure this out, and I'm realizing, oh, wait a minute, hold on. This is just another way. You see, they listen and they analyze on a certain level, whereas we get into the spirit based on emotion. Not necessarily saying one is superior to the other. It's just, I just recognize now based on being in different, you know, because when I went to Canada, they was doing the same thing. You see what I'm saying? They was doing the same thing. And I realized what that is, and I guess you take more in. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, because we some information junkies over the way. You see what I'm saying? But they get their fix through the information. So that's almost like that call and response. They're like they're going to church. You see what I'm saying? You know. So it's just interesting how certain things happen. Just noticing things. So we're talking about Ganesha. We're going to give a shout out to him first because he opens the way. And so this is how I know in the spirit world. When I was doing the pictures, and let me explain this before I do it. These pictures up here, so the people, because one sister in Cleveland, Ohio said, when you selling Xerox pictures, what makes, well, I can go in a book and get them. I said, no, you can't go in a book and get these. I said, because the book that I got this out of called $90 for a used book. I might pay $100. I learned that from a lot of the scholars. You can pay $100 for a used book with one picture in it. But the picture is so valuable till the money means nothing because it's worth 1,000 words. You see what I'm saying? Like this particular, I paid $100 for the book that has this in it. You see what I'm saying? But it was stuff that they take to, they go to India. You want to get rid of your black portion of your history? Yeah, we got to hide this shit. Well, they sell it to this museum in France. So the people in India, the people in Cambodia, people in Thailand, they want to get rid of that Africanized or that Afro-colored features, and they selling the stuff to France. So all kind of Masonic white people can go through and study this stuff in France. They go to the smaller museum to learn the real history. You see what I'm saying? But these people are embarrassed. You see what I'm saying? The light caste system Indians that run this stuff, or the modern Asians. So they'll ship all this stuff over there. So this book comes out. The book's printed in the 70s. You see what I'm saying? I get it. I got to pay $150 used for the book, but that's not the point. This is worth $1 million just to show our people that an Egyptian man with dreadlocks, with a Camite, with an Egyptian Camite robe in Cambodia, that's worth $1 million. You see what I'm saying? So the value of spending $150 for a book, you see, that's nothing. You see, that's nothing compared to what's really going on. So I paid $40 for this book, and if it was a hardback book, it would have been $100, $150 for used, but I paid $40, and I walked out the door, and you know how you stump your foot, right? Like there's a little thing right there when you're crossing at the door, like a little beam, and I stumped my foot, and the book fell open, and all the pictures just flew out the book. The binding just broke, but it didn't matter, though, because I had this picture. I'll explain what that is. Like I said, of these people going into slavery, worth $1 million. You see what I'm saying? Just to get that. So let's go to, so these pictures, these rare pictures that we're going to try to unload. These rare pictures are more than just pictures. I had to pay hundreds of dollars, okay, just to get some of these particular pictures. You see, just to get some of these particular pictures and all, you know. So don't think that they're just some stuff that I just conjured up. And they got a lot of magic to them. A lot of magic to them. Remember I said I used to work for this millionaire. He worked in the AU Center. That's the black colleges in Atlanta, Georgia. Got about 5 of them. So I used to go in there, and used to be a hangout spot when I was in college there. So after I got out of school, I was designing shoes for a white boy in New York. And he said, well, look, go back home and get some black investors so we can start this thing up. So when I went back to Atlanta, I'm getting the black investors for him. I needed a job. The brother stepped to me and said, yo, man, I need you to work in my store. He sells hamburger and chicken and all this stuff here. I need you to work in my store. You know, because you got a good interaction with the students because you used to be one. And I paused for a minute. And I paused for a minute. The brother said, oh, no, okay, now. You in my store talking all that black shit every day. Now, you tell me you're afraid to work for the black man when you know you need the money. I said, I'll be to work on Monday morning. So I worked for him for 4 years, money under the table, unlimited cash, and I bought a library because it was unlimited cash with this cat. And one day he made the mistake, about 2 years after me working, in the summertime, got cheap, told me to go get on the goddamn grill. Because, you know, I used to just pass the food out, take the orders, and had camaraderie with the students. That was my thing. They would come in there for me. But one day he said, go get on the grill. So I was cooking shit. I learned how to cook over the couple of years, you know, short order stuff by just running back in the kitchen cooking me something to eat. And I got on the fucking grill. I got on the grill, and the food came out good. He said, oh, shit, you can cook? So he put me on the grill the next week. And one day I left the store and got down the street. When I left the store was on fire. That's what you do by putting a non-professional on the grill. Being cheap. So there's some type of grease trap, and you're supposed to put the grease down, but I put too much grease in this grease trap, and the stove caught on fire, and the grease, when you know grease, it don't out in the water, it just burns. So the rumor was that Bobby burnt down the damn stove, but anyway, the kitchen burned up, and the wall in the kitchen on the side of the stove burned up, but I had these Egyptian pictures on the wall, and the wall behind the Egyptian pictures was charcoal, and the pictures was laying on the wall, not burned up. That's the kind of power that this stuff happened. That's why the Egyptians used these images. These images resonate power. So don't think because you get a picture, it ain't got no power to it. You know, and it costs a Bible. Your pictures is on the charcoal charred wall, and they're not burned up. You see what I'm saying? The clock was melted. His business license was melted. But the pictures weren't, so that's, you know, so that's how that is. So let's put some libations, you know, too. First we're going to start off with Ganesha. Ganesha. I say Lakshmi. I say Vishnu. I say Shiva. I say Seshet. I say Osa. I say Anubis. I say Tahuti. I say Tut. I say Haset. I say Sekhmet. I say Maya. I say Seset. I say Heru. I say Kali. I say Matingi. I say Rama. I say Sita. I say Hanuman. I say Durga. I say Rudra. I say Dembalawedo. I say Aidowedo. I say Aguai. I say Erzuli. I say Erzuli Frida. I say Apashet. I say Bass. I say Button. I say Kadun. I say Otisha. I say Tiesha. I say Ashumala. I say Lokeo. Macumbo. I say Alfil Lukea. Labado. Zarabanda. Maja de Agua, Maja de la Luna, Mama Shola, Freya, I say La Santísima Muerte, La Santísima Vivir. I say La Spiritual Tranquilus. I say San Simón. I say El Cristo Negro. I say El Cristo Rey. I say Zalbanda. I say Umbanda. I say Umbanda. I say Simbi. I say what's this other guy name? Lucero. I say Bass. I say Komisu. I say Mitru. I say Mitru Sira. I say Ramanatu. I say Escalanza. I say Baphomet. I say Bashitan. I say Meletas. I say Hemas. I say Olas. I say Abbas. I say Bam. I say Cthulhu. I say Shemitah. I say Hester. I say Yodato. I say Nirlin Hotep. I say Azathoth. I say Azazel. I say Samaza. I say the Netters, the Titans, Tahuti. I say, let's do a few more. Tahuti. I say Heru. I say Heru. I say Hasefi. I say Hamakis. I say Hamaku. I say Hercules. I say Hermes. I say Areskagul. I say Ishtar. I say Monu. I say Noku. I say Mana. I say Titi. I say Joba. I say Inmatu. Let's see. Aphrodite. Ashe. Kuan Yin. Ashe. Terra. Ashe. Abbott. I say Tyler. I say Shutness. I say Shutness. I say Shutness. Ashe. Let's see. I was gonna give a shout out to Legba. I say Orun. I say Oshun. I say Yimenya. I say Watala. I say Arumala. I say Oya. Ashe. And I guess they are for all gods known and unknown. All ancestors known and unknown. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Start calling out your ancestors that's passed on. 1, 2, 3. Ashe to all ancestors known and unknown. Ashe. All right. Let's do this. This, as you know, they show this particular thing on the internet. This is taken from the Hubble telescope in 2006. And as you can see, they're showing in the Milky Way galaxy is a perfect DNA spiral in the Milky Way galaxy. The 2 DNA spiral. Now they've found 12 more of these, but they're not telling the people. They're only showing the 2. But nevertheless, just for the galaxy to have a perfect DNA spiral means that that is something that's lining up on the inside of us. You see, lining up on the inside of us. You see, which is interesting here because this is the same concept down by the Wado and Aida Wado, which is 2 twin serpents in the Voodoo pantheon, which is also talking about the DNA going to a higher level. So not only is these are 2 gods and goddesses, but this is also a symbol that's venerated to say that one day this DNA thing, and you see the stars among it, this DNA thing will reign supreme. Well, here you see stars, and you see the DNA, but yet you see this in the ancient African and ancient Dahomean symbology also, which is showing you that prophecy is being fulfilled. Because when you see that in the sky, which has been there since 2006, maybe a little longer, it might have been there since the beginning of the millennium. But they wait to show us things. But nevertheless, anything that's going out in space is going on inside of our body. So the apocalypse will not occur on the outside. You will only see it when it comes to weather and animal behavior. How many people live in houses? Because we got apartment dwellers and we got house dwellers. Anybody live in homes? All right. Say, okay. So, let me do this from my throat. I'll take a drink to that. Anything y'all could ever think of out out there for me to take a sip too. We'll accommodate you. That's what the old man told me one day. The president gave me a job to drink up all the liquor to see what effect it got on you young people. But that's his butt. The apocalypse is going on the inside of our bodies. Now, I told you about this book yesterday. It's a book called Revelations of John Divine. And this particular book is a very unique book. And the reason why I always, although we deal with the Hemmitt stuff, and I'm well versed in that, but I always love it when we get something pertaining to the Bible that goes beyond the conventional sense of the religion and goes into the metaphysical realm, because we know everybody up in here is well versed in that Bible. Before you was fancy anything, you was a damn Christian. And if you was a Muslim all your life, you still was a Christian, because that ain't nothing but the same thing. Same first 5 books of Moses. So everybody has some link that's a common origin, just like we got the English language, you got the Bible. You see what I'm saying? So don't front on it now, because be sophisticated. You see what I'm saying? Now the key here is to take the Bible and to see how you can link it back to Hemmitt. There's a book called, let me get the name of this book. It's an excellent book. The guy's name is Gary Greenberg. And the name of the book is called 101 Myths of the Bible. Where they show, well, here's Samson in the Bible. Well, he showed that's Rahel Ruka in the Egyptian. You see, so they show you all the parallels and where they come by. So my point here is this. Your Christian upbringing is not for you to abandon what you have learned. It is for you to enhance what you have learned by trying to find deeper insights into the new information coming in. So my point is, because you are well versed in the Christianity, you can relate to when you find something metaphysical or esoteric in the Christianity, because you've already gotten that, the precursor to that. You see how this thing goes? You see, you don't throw no baby out with the bathwater. You see, so this particular book, The Revelation of John Divine, The Path to the Soul Initiation, by Zachary F. Lansdowne, Landowne. This particular book show you all of the stuff in Revelation, and they'll show you the chakra systems, the kundalini, the third eye. You see what I'm saying? The soul, meditation. You see, so it breaks it down on that particular level, so anybody can relate to that. And that's one thing that we do have in common. Not just as black people, but just about everybody in the modern world is basically has some in the Western world, some run in with Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. You see what I'm saying? All those things were fragments from the mystery schools in the first place. You see, so you just have to just get out of the whole taking the Bible word for word in times when things don't even make no damn sense. You know what I'm saying? On that particular level. But to understand that when it doesn't make sense, is because it's mean to be explained on another esoteric level. You get that? Y'all all right? Okay. Anybody heard of The Secret? Remember, that's the big phenomenon 2 years ago. The Secret. Even made it to Oprah. The Secret. When I first heard it, I said they didn't do shit but take a book called The Kabbalion and took one of the laws out of the Kabbalion. Exactly. You see, which is the laws of attraction. Well, the guy that taught us the Kabbalion is a brother by the name of C. Freeman L., one of our great scholars, and he just made the transition back in March. The day he made the transition, because he always taught us about the Kabbalion. So when The Secret came out, I knew the Kabbalion by the 3 initiates. I knew that that's where these people got the laws of attraction and trying to front like it's a damn secret. You see, and like you got to go through them or some mystical shit that they done came up with when they just basically took there's 7 Hermetic laws, they took one of them. But the book is called the Kabbalion. So the day, and C. Freeman L. used to talk on that book. He used to talk on that book, and he also talked on a book, he was writing a book on astrology of the Bible. to show that it was an astrological book. And so the day he passed, a book came out called The Gospel of the Zodiac. I said, damn, so like somebody wrote his book for him. Because he always, I said, well, damn, when you going to finish this book? He said, no, I'm writing about 700 or 800 pages so niggas won't copy my shit. He said, they'll get discouraged from copying my stuff. I do a big book. I don't have to worry about them copying my stuff and selling it on the street. I said, you must ain't heard the damn Azariah. That nigga copied a 700, 800 page with the old agnostic workbook. I said, you know, page for page until he got it and could run it off. I say, so that don't discourage black people. But anyway, he never got to finish his book. And then the day he died, the book comes out, The Gospel of the Zodiac. Another book, he talked about the Kabbalion. So the day he died, this book came out called The Secret Source. The Secret Source. And it says, you got a picture of it? Yeah. Okay. And it says, the laws of attraction is just one of the 7 Hermetic laws. Here are the other 6. And it's by Maja, M-A-J-A, what's this? Diaus. So that's M-A-J-A, D'-A-O-U-S-T. And Adam Porphyry, P-A-R-F-R-E-Y. It's called The Secret Source. And it's basically the Kabbalion with the other laws put back in it and an extension of these Hermetic laws. So it's an excellent book also to get. It's an excellent book. Y'all all right?
Yeah.
Say that again.
Huh?
Say that again.
The authors is Maja, M-A-J-A, D'-A-O-U-S-T. And it's 2 authors, and Adam, A-D-A-M, Porphyry, P-A-R-F-R-E-Y, Porphyry. Porphyry. So it's an excellent book. It's an excellent book. You can go to some East Indian places. I implore you to get a book on Ganesha. Now, I'm not going to even try to pronounce these fucking Indian names, so I'm going to give you the title. in book finding, you need the title or the author. So I'm not going to try to damn embarrass myself up here with my ebonics. This is Ganesha, which is this deity. And the name of the book is Ganesha, the auspicious, the beginning. Don't ask me how to spell auspicious. Ganesha, the auspicious, the beginning. And this is all a book on Ganesha because his cycle is in now. Ganesha is an elephant East Indian form of Anubis. Anubis is the opener of the way. Ganesha is the one that removes obstacles. So, this is a book that you can go, and I'm quite sure there's plenty of places, East Indian bookstores or what have you, that you can go and get this stuff from. But any book you can get on Ganesha at this particular time, because it's his cycle. It's his cycle. And because Africa has the biggest elephants, there's that connection. You see what I'm saying? There's that connection. So I want you to get a hold of that. Let's see if I can find this other picture that I was dealing with. Y'all all right? Yeah. Okay. To move right along, I'm going to give you a couple of things. We all know, and as I showed yesterday with the Pope and the red shoes and the bloodline when he came over to have a secret meeting with Obama. We all know that they deal with high magic. And this is a book that just came out, first of the year. It's called Papal Magic, the Occult Practices of the Catholic Church. So it deals with what they deal with. So you remember now, the Vatican has all kind of artifacts, facts from around the world. The guy Simon, they wrote a book called the Necronomicon years ago. As a matter of fact, 31 years ago or 30 years ago, they wrote the Necronomicon. The guy Simon. Well, this is another book that came out 30 years later called Papal Magic. And this particular book shows you all the occult sciences that they deal with, and they deal with that particular magic. So they might tell you not to mess with that. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't want you to usurp the power, but they mess with the magic. You see what I'm saying? So the first thing happened was, there was a woman wrote a book called A Mark of Voodoo. Her name is Sharon Calder. Wrote a book called A Mark of Voodoo. She went down to Benin, Africa, and stayed with this voodoo priest for a couple of years. And in the middle, before this voodoo priest died, Pope John Paul calls the voodoo priest, along with calling the voodoo priest in Africa, calling the Dalai Lama, and calling all these spiritual leaders from around the world to come in and do some stuff to help save the planet for the millennium, because they didn't know whether they was going to be here or not. So they tell you that voodoo is evil, but what the hell is Pope John Paul and them calling the voodoo priest in Benin, Africa? You see what I'm saying? There's a whole movie called The Order with the guy that just died recently. What's that guy's name? He's going to play the Joker.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger did a movie back in 2002 or 2003 called The Order. And in that movie, they showed what the Catholic Church was really involved in was all kind of magic. Heath Ledger, The Order. You see what I'm saying? So in this particular one, this book exposes all of those particular cult practices and stuff like that. And basically, it's our material. So I'm not saying it's negative or evil. I'm just trying to say some of the stuff up in there you can use to work yourself, because you've been inducted into Christianity by way of the Pope years ago, called Constantine, who made Christianity popular and killed his mother and his doggone wife. You see, that's the father of Christianity, killed his mother and his wife. You know, I can see you can get mad at your wife for killing your mother. You see, sometimes you might say, hey, you know, some shit happens, but your mama? It's a whole other thing. You see, so that's what this is. Okay, we're going to be dealing with magic tomorrow, but I want you to get this book called The Magic Household. The Magic Household. Spells and Rituals for the Home by Scott Cunningham and David Harrington. Scott Cunningham and David Harrington. The Magic Household. The Magical Household. This is the book you need to get, because that's what you're going to have to start lining up your homes with. All this is remember now, these Wiccan and all these people, see, in the bigger thing, we look and say, that's tragic, you know, these people are doing our rituals. No, but in the omniverse, they look it down and say, these people preserved this so that you could have it later on. Because what happens is this. Whenever a practice starts to die, and it dies out, those entities need to be called on, or they need practices, or they get reabsorbed back into the chaos sphere, or the universe, or the chaos sphere. So they need, that's why they say that the gods need their names to be called. When you call their names, they live. That's what libation is about. You see what I'm saying? So I'm one of their best friends, because I was calling on deities that were asleep for thousands of years. You see what I'm saying? They didn't like it at first. Somebody waking you, you've been asleep for 1,000 years, and somebody waking you up. But after a while, it became an ally. After I woke them up, they were like, well, goddamn, we got to depend on this nigga to call our name in these lectures. You see what I'm saying? You see, so the magical household. Now, one of the things about the magical household, and this is what you need to do to open up a vortex to another dimension. One way to open up a vortex to another dimension is to get you a cauldron. I see a cauldron, a little black witch pot. You know the pot? A cauldron. That's a gateway to another universe, either the Ogun pot or the Zarabanda pot. That's one way. But another way is something as simple as this. And the only thing you got to do for those people who have automobiles is to get up and ride around the rich neighborhoods. And the reason why they got money and you don't is you will see this on every one of their doors. A wreath. Outside of Christmas. They always have a wreath on the doors, because the wreath is a gateway to another universe, or a gateway for prosperity and spirits to come in. So put a wreath on your door, even if you're in an apartment. Put a wreath on your front door. We got one on our front door, and it did it opened up a whole nother dimension. And you'll go to these people, and I guarantee you ride out, it'll be hot summer, July, and go up in the rich neighborhood and see how many people got wreaths on their door. All those people got wreaths on their doors, and white folks is witches, doing the magic. You see what I'm saying? Doing the magic. So this is very interesting here. To put a reef on, it's more powerful. You can go to most stores. You know, we got Walmart and Target in America, and they sell reefs. So go to whatever stores you all have and try to find you some reefs, or go to thrift shops or whatever. If that don't work, make you a reef. You see what I'm saying? But put that reef on your door. You see, and the one you make is even more powerful. So you can basically take a reef that's already made and add certain things to it. You see what I'm saying? Y'all all right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, but get this particular book, The Magical Household by Scott Cunningham. Spirit, spells, and rituals for the home. Very key. Moving right along. Let's see where we're going with this. Okay. There's another book called Spiritual Technology of Ancient Egypt, just came out.